Wow.
All right.
Silence on the set, please. Cell phones on silent. No flash, please. No flash. No flash. It's Friday night. No flash.
Okay. And where do I look? Straight ahead? Or that one?
Where, dos, where does coach look? Which camera? Right here? This way. At this camera, coach.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see. So I did that last year. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Coach Norman yesterday.
Okay. Just let me know when you're ready. Mic check, please. Mic check.
Who? All of us?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's go.
We're all the Miami Heat fans up in here.
Why naman tayo, G?
Ateneo fans. Where's that?
Yeah!
More Ateneo fans.
Yeah! Woo!
Oh, that's great.
Yeah!
One big fight, big
One big fight!
How many Coach Spo fans up in here?
Woo! Yeah!
All right.
Sir, we can go like that. We're ready. Anytime we're ready. Opening. Okay, play will be B. Okay. Gino. Go.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At least it's morning here in the Philippines, and it's whatever time around the world because we are seen around the world today. And of course, welcome to the Gatorade Philippines live stream chat with none other than NBA champion head coach Mr. Erik Spoelstra himself. My name is Gino Gilman. I'll be hosting this special chat session with Coach Erik, and helping me today is another brand ambassador of Gatorade. Somebody who knows a thing or two, actually more like four, about championships as well. Mr. Nico Salva of the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Coach, we are streaming around the world, and this is your fourth time back here in the Philippines as a member, as a coach in the NBA. I know you were here when you were a kid as well. How does it feel to be back here as an NBA champion?
Yeah, it feels amazing. You know, and we made some promises, not guarantees, but there's some disappointment. Obviously, coming off of 2011, when we made some promises that if we came back, we would bring the trophy with us. And so we were good to our word. We look forward to this trip every single year for so many different reasons, but mostly to connect with all the kids with this beautiful game.
I know the weather has been a little bit of a downer lately because it's been raining nonstop. But has it slowed down your momentum here in the Philippines? Because it seems like you're not getting tired at all.
Oh, not at all. Well, we didn't come here to sleep or rest. We came here to work and try to see as many kids as we possibly could. The weather is phenomenal. It feels like Miami. You know? It rains and sun will come out. Rain, sun, and I feel like home.
All right. When we announced this live stream chat, fans from all over the country posted their questions on Gatorade Philippines Facebook page, and we pre-selected a few really good ones and for you to answer. And don't despair, NBA fans, because we have more room for more questions, not just from the people in the audience, but from the people who are watching us from all over the world as well. So Nico, maybe you want to get started with the first question.
This is from Bernard Caesar. How do you intend to utilize Ray Allen's talents and fit it in your system with the big three of LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh? How would Ray affect the team's rotation from 2012-2013 season?
Well, Bernard, I hope you're not a Boston Celtics fan. I know there's a few of them out here, but we were so tired of having Ray beat us and inflict pain on us from our fiercest rival, the Celtics. We tried to do whatever we could to steal him away. We couldn't be more thrilled about having him on our team. Obviously, the three-point shooting, the skill, proven NBA champion, he's a future Hall of Famer. We think he fits in perfectly to our already existing core.
I want to add a little bit to that. I mean, you got Ray Allen, you got Mike Miller, Rashard Lewis. You get to spread the floor tremendously, and you have guys like LeBron, Wade attacking the basket. I mean, this is something that you're planning to use, like to spread the floor as much as possible and use these two guys to attack the basket.
Yeah, we think that our greatest strength is the versatility of our roster, and what we say is we want to play positionless eventually, and Ray and Rashard really help that in that regard because they can play multiple positions. And then we want to keep that paint open. You know, obviously we have great attackers and Dwayne and Chris and LeBron. The more shooting you have, the better it helps. But it's a symbiotic relationship. The more you have of both, the better it seems to work.
All right. Our next question is from Onin Babiano. And his question is, Coach Poe, in your loss to the Mavs, and we know how sad and down your team was that time, how did you motivate and encourage your players, especially with all the hype at the beginning of the season that Miami will emerge as champions? Now that you have the Larry O'Brien Trophy, which is actually here with us, how are you going to motivate your team to keep on winning and not be too complacent?
Onan, that's a great question, two-part, because I'm already starting to work on that. You know, some of the pain we went through in the loss from Dallas, unfortunately, was helpful. The experience is your greatest teacher often. It was for us. We came back a better team from that pain, and then we were able to finally get over that hump and hill together, and it was extremely gratifying. Now, the challenge will be to start from the beginning and climb that mountain again. It won't be the same path. It'll again be the most difficult thing we've ever had to do as professionals, but we can't wait to get started again in September.
Nico, let me ask you a really quick question. Is it harder to win a title or defend a title?
It's hard to defend the title because once you're on top, everyone wants to bring you down.
All right. You have the next question, I believe.
This is from Jamie Lotop. Yes, she or he has two questions for you. Number one, in the last NBA Finals, what was your most memorable Gatorade moment? And number two, in your quest for back-to-back NBA championships, and with the addition of key support players to the Big Three, would the triangle offense be an option?
The most memorable moment, probably was LeBron's three when he had the calf injury. None of us were expecting that. He couldn't even walk up and down the court, much less run. That was an incredible example of competitive will to help us, secure that game. Some of the challenges we're not using back-to-back, right now, but we're looking forward to starting the challenge. We will be playing 2 games in China for preseason against the Clippers, Shanghai and Beijing. Hopefully that'll get us off to the right start and start this journey again.
Speaking of that moment when LeBron James made that three, I think he was suffering from cramps or something like that. And we have a question here from the floor, and he says, "Hey, Coach Bo, everyone knows that LBJ is one of the most used players in the league. It's safe to say that he's a workhorse, but he got cramps during the finals. What can you say about that?"
Well, we talked about it before that game, which was ironic. Right before we went out to the court, we said, leave nothing on the court, to the point where if we need to carry you off, that's how much energy will be required for the game. LeBron took that literally because he competed and played at such an incredibly high level that he left nothing left in his body. He expended everything that he had in there. He went through some cramps. He was hydrated all game long, but it was an extreme circumstance. fortunately enough, he was able to help in that game and then be healthy for the country.
I want to ask you this. I know we spoke about it the last time I saw you. LeBron James seems, at least for me, and at least for a lot of people out there, that this season, this past playoffs, he really took it up a level, like we've never seen before. I mean, we all knew his God-given skills, his gifts, but it's almost like he became a different player. He became a really the world's best player now. And did you see that happen? Did you see him turning into that machine that becomes like just winning games?
What makes LeBron special, and similar to all the greats, the historic greats of this game, is he never stays comfortable. And you're already talking about the two-time MVP. They've been to the finals twice, but continue to reinvent himself, add dimensions to his game. For us, we need him to be able to play out of the post. He was simply dominant in that area in the playoffs, which allowed us another dimension to our offense. And then he was a three-time MVP. He's only 27 years old. Knowing him the way we do, he'll continue to try to improve and not stay where he is.
I have a follow-up question on that. What do you think motivated LeBron to be what he is now?
His desire to win and be a great teammate. He's one of the best teammates I've seen. I've been around. He's so giving. He's willing to sacrifice. He's willing to be one of the guys. He's also been coached well. He was coached well in high school. He's been coached well in the pros. So he's built up a lot of great habits. And he's hungry. Like I said, he will not stay comfortable. He has an incredible legacy ahead of him, but he'll continue to drive himself to make sure that he can become the best that he can be.
Igor, you have another question there from one of the viewers?
She's from Victoria Castillo. Coach, I've noticed that in defeat, the coach always takes the blame, particularly when you have the best player in the league on your team. Do you feel that the onus of the team's performance is really on the coach? This point may very well be moved after winning the NBA championship.
Well, Victoria, I think one of the most important qualities of a head coach is to be able to take the brunt and be the sign of strength to your team, particularly when it's toughest or when you're receiving a lot of criticism from outside. I knew what it was about when I signed up for this profession. I wouldn't rather do anything else in my life. I absolutely love the profession of coaching and leading and motivating, and that's part of it. You also learn lessons of just being able to control the things you can control. You can't control the media or the opinions out there, but you can control doing the best job you possibly can.
Tell us again about that experience or that moment when Pat Riley said, Erik, you're taking over this team. You're the head coach at the Miami Heat. What was your reaction?
Come on, coach, be serious. Stop joking.
That was it. You didn't believe him. How long did it take for it to really sink in? It's like, I'm the head coach of the Heat.
Oh, you are serious, coach. Hey, actually, it was a great moment. He told me in his office. He didn't tell anybody else. He surprised me. He had been hinting and joking about it for 2 or 3 years. Saying, hey, you better be ready. One of these days I just might not show up and hand keys to you. And he finally did. And, I took a lot of pride in the fact that he had trust enough to be able to hand such a big responsibility over for our organization. And I tried to prove his decision, to be the right one.
Speaking of Pat Riley, coach, is he really the godfather? Is he a part of the mafia? Doesn't he look like a part of the mafia?
With his slick back hair, the suit, everything.
It's great. He's seen me grow from a young man all the way to the professional that I am now. 17 years that I've worked for him. But it is funny. When you go into his office, all the lights are down, the shades are closed. You can only see a shadow of him. He can see you, but you can't necessarily see him. But he's been a tremendous influence and a guiding light in my career.
How much of his influence, as far because we all know Pat Riley through his years with the Lakers, the Knicks, and of course the Heat, that his practices are so hard that the players look forward to the games.
Yeah.
How much of that do you actually imply to your team now?
As much of it as we possibly can. And I think that's one of Coach Riley's legacies in this league and to our franchises. He has developed the core philosophy of what you imagine a Miami Heat basketball team to be, and that's to be first class, to be professional, to be defensive oriented, hardworking, all the toughness areas. The ultimate compliment to me would be if an educated fan saw a game and said that looked like a Pat Riley coach team.
Wow. Okay. And we have a question from Drew Mariano. Coach Spo, now that USA team is seeing Olympic action, how do you assess their chances of Olympic gold, and what do you think must be done by the Philippines to relive those glory days? Do you have any plans on helping the Philippines improve its national squad's capabilities, and how?
Drew, unfortunately, I've been so busy out here, which is great. We've been trying to work with as many kids in camps and clinics as we possibly can. I have not seen an Olympic basketball game yet, which kind of bums me out. I hope to catch Team USA at some point. I root for them big time. LeBron obviously is playing for them. Dwayne and Chris were not able to through injury, but we support them. We know how tough it's going to be. It's certainly not a guarantee. There's a lot of great competition out there, but we'll see what happens. In terms of the Filipino national team, I root for them as well. 10,000 miles away in Miami. It's all it takes in the future is for a young group of men and kids to dream big and to keep on pushing forward and improving. I can't wait to see the future of the game here.
All right. Nico, you have another question?
This is from Angel Sagrado. On a lighter note, the American Idol is now looking for new judges.
Thank goodness. I thought you were going to say, am I going to participate? I can't see. I'm the only Filipino who can't see.
You will be part of the show. Who will you choose as your co-judge? Mariah Carey or Jennifer Lopez? Or Simon Cowell?
Definitely not going with C. That's the A or B. I'd probably go Jennifer Lopez.
No, not a bad choice, if I may add.
And one more question. It would be great if you and Jessica Sanchez can perform a duet. May I know what's the song will Coach Bo sing in American Idol?
Careless Whisper.
Wow, really?
I can sing that one in karaoke.
Careless. You want to sample us a little bit right now? All right. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I just did, but I'm sorry. I take it back. Nico Samba will do it. Anyway, we have another question from Gilson Uy. Winning from within is everything. What did you do and tell your team when they lost the 2011 NBA Finals that made them bounce back to win this year's NBA Finals? Was it the hardest challenge in your life?
Gilson, it wasn't easy. And like I said before, that sometimes the toughest experiences that you go through can be the best educators. And what we did was own what happened and try to work to collectively improve the next time around. Even though it wasn't guaranteed, we wanted to make sure we did whatever we possibly could to put ourselves in that position again and have an opportunity to play for it. We were fortunate enough to be able to have that opportunity again against Oklahoma City, who's an absolute incredible organization. They have a great future ahead of them, and we were able to raise that trophy again in a great series.
It seemed to me, anyway, like in 2011, the target on your backs were bigger. It's like everybody wanted to take you guys down. And then this past year, it's almost like people were warming up to the Heat. It's like almost like there's this hate in 2011 that for me didn't seem to exist in 2012, and people were kind of just warming up a little bit. Did you feel that? Did you feel like it was a little bit lighter? You didn't want to. You didn't. It's almost like you didn't have to prove everybody wrong.
Well, maybe our attitude about that we stopped trying to vindicate ourselves or win over public perception or opinion about our team, and really just focus on trying to win. The competition is fierce, so I don't think our competitors lightened up at all. We had a target on our back both years. That makes you tougher. and stronger. Hopefully we've earned some new fans. We know how many fans we have out here in the Philippines, and that's part of the reason why we wanted to come out here and share a little bit of our celebration with the trophy.
Okay, we have another question from Dom Siriano. Dom Siriano asks, Coach, you started as a video coordinator back then and now an NBA coach with a championship. What has been your best experience and most trying experience as an NBA coach?
Dons, it took a long while. Somebody said that it was an overnight opportunity to become the head coach. It really wasn't that way. It took 13 long years of starting at the entry level and earning the trust of my bosses to be promoted to eventually get that opportunity. And sometimes it just takes persistence and perseverance. As a head coach, probably the toughest time was that 2011 finals loss to Dallas. We all learned a great deal from that series.
You thought about playing here, right? I mean, you had a choice between joining the Heat as a video coordinator or perhaps trying your luck and playing in the PBA. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I talked to Jim Kelly, who was involved with the PBA back then, and I was playing in Europe for a couple of years, and my plan was to spend a couple of years there and work my way back through the Philippines. And through my cousins and family, I'd always seen videotapes of the PBA and heard about all the stars and Billy Ray Bates and Jaworski and everybody, so I wanted to be a part of it, and the fans are incredible. It didn't work out that way. I don't have many regrets in life. That's probably my only regret. I didn't have that opportunity, but it's turned out okay.
You know, if coaching doesn't work, Jaworski just retired a couple of weeks ago, so maybe you can come. Maybe you can actually still play. But Nico, you might have another question.
This is from Josh Buenaventura. What kind of mindset do you want to instill in your players now that they are champions, and how do you plan to make them keep this in their heads every game, all the way to another NBA champion?
Well, Josh, we have to make sure that we start from the beginning again. We can't assume that it'll be easy, assume that it'll be the same journey, but to continue to try to push and improve. We were a desperate team last year, coming off of what happened in 2011. We'll have to increase that desperation, much like Nico was talking about when we try to repeat.
And we have a question from Cora May Folero, and she asks, if you were given a chance to trade places with anyone in your team, you being the player and him being the coach, who would that be and why did you choose him? Really interesting question. Huh?
That's a brilliant question. That might be the best.
Is she here? Is Cora here?
Cora. That's a great question. I would change places with Mario Chalmers for two reasons. One, I'm a former point guard. I would love to go down on a fast break and have an opportunity to pass to Dwayne on one side, maybe LeBron on this side, maybe a behind the back pass to Chris Bosh on that side, or maybe a kick for a Ray on three. Seems like it'd be a lot of fun. But also, I would love to see Mario Chalmers coach this team. I have a different perspective.
How do you think he would do? How do you think he would do as a coach?
Not sure. It would be a great learning experience for us.
All right, we have one from Evans Jagarin. And Evans asks, I know you already have the elite players in your team, but Pat Riley said you don't really need a center to play at 5 in your team. Do you agree with that?
Well, the game is changing. And I think what we proved last year was that our versatility was our greatest strength, and we're moving into a mindset where we're positionless, where we can put 5 basketball players out there. We're not worried about putting them in a specific box, but playing hybrid positions and making teams adjust to us. So we have the size. We don't call it small ball. We have guys that can play bigger, play positions above. And we also think it makes it a little bit tougher for teams to adjust to us.
You know, that's very interesting. You point out the hybrid players because it's really the type of game that we see now. You rarely see that behind the big guys who play like back of the basket. You barely see that nowadays, and it's probably the future of where basketball is heading. Would you agree?
It depends. every team is different, and you talk about back to the basket players, you immediately think of centers.
Yeah.
We have two great back to the basket players, and our offense sometimes is inverted, where our post players are wings, Wayne and LeBron, but they provide that same type of power game that we're looking for. But in terms of versatility, we have guys that can play multiple positions, and that allows us to play to our strengths, but also to adapt to the way the NBA is going.
Okay, we got a couple more questions that we need to get out of the way. We have from Maybelline Chang. What is the first thing you did after the Miami Heat won the championship game? So they close it out. When you guys close it out?
I hugged my assistant coaches. And
Coach Fizz.
Yep, Coach Fizz, Coach Fizzapino, and the rest of my staff. And then I proceeded to have a big bucket of Gatorade dumped on my head. But it was a beautiful moment. We were all able to share in that moment together in the locker room. I was fortunate enough to have a lot of my family there. I had a special quiet moment with the trophy in my office with just family and friends.
And we also have one from Andrew Bautista. Andrew asks, Coach Spo, I would like to ask how you will be able to defeat the new teams like the Lakers with Steve Nash and possibly Dwight Howard joining the purple and gold this year.
It won't be easy, and we understand that we can't take the challenge for granted. We will have to start at the same starting line as everybody else. And get after it. The rest of the league has improved. The competition is fierce. That's why we were aggressive in free agency to try to improve our team. And then when we get back together for training camp, we're going to try to improve who we were from last year.
But do you guys look at that though? Does the coaching staff pay attention to all the other teams out there, like let's say the Lakers who are trying to get Dwight Howard, they got Steve Nash, and the other teams that have signed during free agency who they got. Do you guys follow that, or do you just really worry about your team?
Yeah, we're very aware of competition, and we expected that. We expected teams to be very aggressive in free agency and teams to improve. That's the nature of this league. It's so very hard, as Nico knows, to repeat. That's why it doesn't happen very often. But we can't obsess about what other teams do. That has no bearing on our team. We're trying to improve. And the next thing we'll have to do is work on our mindset. So
Nico, maybe you have some tips to Coach Spo about how to repeat.
I have a question. What can I do to be part of the man?
We'll see if we can send Dan Craig, our assistant coach, out to scout you.
Yeah,
That's legal.
maybe I can give LeBron and Dwayne Wade a towel.
Or maybe dream big and possibly be one of these players one of these days.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Nico Salva of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, and of course Erik Spoelstra of the Miami Heat. I know we have to wrap it up. I know we have a busy day ahead, and we're gonna get on with the autograph signing and posing with pictures with Coach Spo. Where are the Miami Heat fans out there? Where are the Nico Salva fans out there? Where's the Coach Spoelstra fans? Of course, this has been the Gatorade live chat with Coach Spoelstra, and we're not just here in the Philippines, but we're seen from around the world. So, Coach, maybe some parting shots from you for all the viewers out there online.
Well, thank you so much for your support. Hopefully, we've earned some new Miami Heat fans. We're looking forward to trying to earn some more in this upcoming season. Doesn't matter if you're a Miami Heat fan or not, though. This NBA season is going to be thrilling.
Thank you very much, Coach Spo. Thank you very much, Nico.
And with that, we bring to an end the Facebook video chat session. The Coach Erik Spoelstra, and it's brought to you by Gatorade.